What's good, boxing fans? It's your boy, Pool Counter Boxing, coming at you with more boxing content for the boxing heads and the boxing mind. Give you more boxing content to fit your boxing heart or needs. Oh yeah, Manny Pacquiao did an interview with boxing scene, and boxing scene, asked him a lot of good questions about his legacy and why is he continuing his legacy in boxing. And Manny Pacquiao, he had a lot of interesting things to say. And number one, Manny Pacquiao says he wants to be considered one of the greatest, one of the boxing greats of all times. And he wants to be, his name on that list. And, in my opinion, my humble opinion, Manny Pacquiao is an all-time great. Manny Pacquiao has been, a dominant figure in boxing over the last 25 years. Okay? He beat some of the greats. He beat Eric Morales. He beat Oscar De La Hoya. He beat Miguel Cotto, Ricky Hatton, Shane Mosley. He beat so many. So many coming up. He beat Chris Algieri. I believe he beat Jeff Horn. I believe he won that fight, and he is even beaten fighters today, like not today. Let's say Lucas Matisse. That was a while ago, and Keith Thurman, and that's a more recent fight that he beat one of the young guns that he was supposed to lose to, and he just keep defying the odds. He beat Adrian Bronner, and not all in that order. But you get what I'm saying. He fought a lot of fights, and he's still fighting to this day at 42 years old. That is simply unheard of, and it's amazing, man. So I have a lot of respect, and I know the boxing hardcore has a lot of respect for Manny Pacquiao, man, because he keep defying the odds. And so boxing asked him a lot of pretty good questions. They asked him, how does he keep doing it? How does, at 42 years old, and I'm paraphrasing here, okay, because, to give you the article, this would be a hour video. So I asked him, how does he do it at 42-year-old? He said he plays basketball 4 times a day to stay in shape, and he loves basketball. And he says, he don't do a lot of bad stuff. He don't smoke. He don't overeat and all this kind of stuff. So Manny Pacquiao leads the clean fighter lifestyle. And they also asked Pacquiao about why the Crawford fight, didn't come about. And Manny Pacquiao said that, all that matters that, he got to fight with Errol Spence Jr. He says he don't want to compare the two because they're both excellent fighters. He said, but he went to the Mikey Garcia fight, and he saw, the crowd. He saw how many fans that they both brought out in Dallas, and that helped him. He said that Errol Spence Jr. would be the bigger event. So, that's why he that kind of helped with his decision. Then he went on to talk about how the respect he had for Errol Spence Jr. He said that Errol Spence Jr. is one of the, top pound-for-pound fighters, and he believes that if he beats Errol Spence Jr., he could be put into the conversation as one of the all-time greats. And he said he don't underestimate Errol Spence Jr. He said that's why he trains the way he trains. He said, it's more of a mental mind state. When he was asked about does he watch tapes on Errol Spence Jr. or his opponents, he said, well, he said for him, he watched very little tape on his opponents. He said that's because it's all about mind state for him. He says that, as long as he can be the best that he can be, then the opponents have to adjust to him. So, which is very insightful. And he also said that it's important for him, Not that him and Freddie Roach come up with the greatest game plan. He says it's more important to him that he does every sit up, every punch, he throws every punch, and he runs every mile, and that he cuts no corners in training. And he also said that it's important to show up to training in shape because you lose time. It's a waste of time to have to have a fat camp. You lose time. You should be working on conditioning. You should be working on training. And you should be working on strategy in your training camp. And that'll just give you a better result, when you enter the ring. So Manny Pacquiao is tossing out jewels for the young fighters out there. Of course, Manny Pacquiao is one of the greats that we have in boxing. He's continuing on his legacy. I'm pretty sure if he beats Errol Spence Jr., he probably look for that Terrence Crawford, that Terrence Crawford smoke. And we all know that Manny Pacquiao, he's a warrior. He's gonna do his best in this Errol Spence Jr. fight on August 21st, and I think it's going to be one of the fights of the year. I think he's going to give Errol Spence Jr. a good fight, but he has a tall order. It's a tall challenge for a 42-year-old man to beat a champion in his prime, and that is the challenge he's going to have to face and overcome. Do he still have the speed? Do he still have the stamina? Can he still execute the way the old Manny Pacquiao used to execute? And these are some of the things we're going to have to look at in this fight. But Errol Spence Jr., he's getting in top condition. I'm pretty sure his mental mind state is to come in the best that he can be to try to get Manny Pacquiao up out of there. And so we got to see how it all plays out. You know what I mean? And if you get a chance, smash that like button for your boy, and helps expand the channel, and helps me motivated to bring on more content for you guys. And but that's all I got for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember what I say: law don't go by here, law dog. Just happy. See you guys in the next one.